How do you know when to give up? Let me tell you a story. So today I was fixing my door. So basically my door broke. I won't get into the technical details, but basically there was a screw that just couldn't be tightened because like the hole was what's the word? It was like made out of wood, and the wood decayed, and so the screw didn't fit inside the hole. Okay, I'm not going to re-record this. So anyways, I couldn't like fix it, and I couldn't find the issue in that for the longest time. So I spent like 30 minutes wondering why the screw wouldn't like properly screw in, and because it didn't screw in, the door hinge wouldn't hold itself, and it kept breaking, it kept falling off, and I spent good like 30 minutes, probably even more, trying to do this. And I just kept doing the same thing over and over again without thinking for a second of just zooming out and seeing what the bigger issue was. I thought the issue was I just wasn't trying hard enough. But clearly that was not the case. No matter how hard I tried, the screw was broken, so it doesn't matter how much force I have. Even if I used an electric drill, it still wouldn't have worked. But I persisted. I just kept going at it, and eventually I just realized there was no point. And my dad even told me to stop. He was like in the kitchen telling me to just do it another day. And I realized I had this habit of just persistently doing something without knowing when to give up. And I feel like it's such a widespread like message in society to never give up, to always like keep pushing on. You only lose if you fail. And yes, that's true. But just because you don't give up in the war doesn't mean you have to not give up in the battles. Sometimes you have to sacrifice particular battles in order to win the overall war. And so that's the reason I'm telling you this story. Now, obviously, this door example is a bit small. It's not that significant in the grand scheme of things. But as you can imagine, there's other areas where this would apply. For example, relationships, in a work that you don't like, in a degree that you don't like. Sometimes you got to know when to give up. You can't just keep going down the same path hoping that it will get better if you're just doing the same thing, hoping for different results. As Einstein says it, that's insanity. And so this door example is obviously, it's fairly small. It didn't impact my life that much. Yes, I'm a bit annoyed. I am behind schedule today, actually, because of that. But in the grand scheme of things, not a big idea. But it just got me thinking, like, what if I persistently pursue, let's say, a career for 10 years? For doing the same thing, hoping that I'll enjoy it or I'll fix it one day. It's a scary fact. The fact that society just tells us to never give up. It sounds like such a positive thing, but knowing when to give up and knowing when to pursue a particular thing, that's where the real skill and the real magic comes from. Because when you're able to actually direct your focus on things that you should pursue and give up on the things that you should give up, that's how you make the most progress. It's not by never giving up, it's by selectively giving up. And never give up on the main priorities, but give up on, the less important things. So that's kind of the message of this door story that I want to share. Because ultimately, if you want to live like a fulfilling life, you can't hold on to everything. That's something I've learned the hard way. I can't persistently pursue every single thing and make sure that it's right. Sometimes you have to make sacrifices, and those sacrifices are required for you to win. So, with that, take care, and I hope you have a fabulous day.